Hey, you guys, welcome back to episode 3 of Ty Squared. I'm Ty. How are you doing, Ty?
I'm doing all right. How about you?
We're here. Another day, another piece of a dollar. Oh, shoot. Sorry, y'all, I'm gonna light up just a little bit. So, on today's docket, you know what, real quick, before we get to that, we're gonna introduce another segment of Otis over this ignorant shit. Because I feel like, why are you gonna give me a reward system if you're gonna make it expire? And I feel the same way about coupons. Like I feel like if you give me a price off or if you give me a deduction, like just like in between two friends, if you do a favor for somebody and they say, oh, well, I'll do this for you next time. That shit don't expire. So what makes the companies any different? And what prompted me to bring this up is I was going through my emails trying to see which email was connected to Riverside so we could get this damn podcast going because it logs you out if you haven't been in a while. Um, but I saw the thing that said my cold points was about to expire. So I was like, what the fuck, bro? Like, granted, I already knew they did, but it's just a thought that I had. Do you agree? Because I just feel like if you're gonna give me points or a coupon, bitch, don't worry about when I use it. That ain't your business.
They're just trying to
And my
control you.
man
That's
Mr.
all.
Ransom, thank you. Okay, see, and that's why this time motherfucking square. Now, Ty, you go ahead and tell them why we are late. Yep, putting you on the spot.
Um.
What
Well,
happened
I'm
was
currently fighting a little battle to get my hair done, so it's um it's been taking a few days,
Yeah,
but
it's
it
okay.
looks
All the
good. It
black
looks
women
good.
that
It's
are
still
listening
not ready, but it
collectively
looks
just
good.
sighed. All the black women that are listening collectively just sighed because they probably can relate.
I'm glad someone understands,
Some of these
but
new age stylists are
got to my
just
loctician. She
ridiculous.
the
Did you
best.
see that girl? Oh yeah. But some of these new age stylists are just ridiculous. Did you see Lyra Galore? Her daughter, she was charged $600, and when I tell you this style cost no more than $70 to $100, like it was a little girl with some little buns, and her hair was braided into two buns, and she charged her $600 or $700, I think, just because she's Lyra Galore and she can.
You know what? I think I did see that the other day, and I thought that was crazy.
hmm I just hate how we know how these companies do us, and then when we get the turn to be a business owner or this, it's like we kind of forget where we came from. You know what I'm saying? Like I've always had the expectation that if I'm able to get where I want to be financially and get these businesses open, and these ideas that I have, like I don't want my staff to have to work two, three jobs to try to do it, And I get it, business owners, at the end of the day gotta prioritize the business, but I don't know, it's just when I listen to these mom and pop business owners that like these places that I frequent, I will listen to them talk about the
I would
structure
listen to them
with
talk
their
about the
employees,
structure, their employees.
and it's really not you ain't got your earbuds in. Oops,
Oop, say
you
that
slipping
again.
again? Why did I hear myself?
Oh, I don't know. I don't have an
Okay, I
echo or
can't hear.
nothing.
Oh, dang. Okay. Well, I don't know. I thought you didn't have your earbuds in, but now I can't hear nothing.
I do.
All right. Oh, okay. So, that was weird. We're just gonna keep going. Press one. The show must go on. So, when I talk to these people, like I know this one bartender, real quick before we get into the stories, there was this one bar, that we go to. It's like a lounge or whatever. And it has new owners now, so I don't know if they're still doing the same thing. But I know this lady, she did something on the taxes to where her bartenders don't get taxed on their credit card tips. And she said it's a simple trick all business owners can do, and they still make their hourly $10 or their whatever their tips are. So it's just like if a small local owned business owner can look out for their employees that way, then these companies they don't have there's no excuse. And then even like when you're starting off, I get cutting corners in the beginning, but okay, if you got to start off with, Clover Valley plates, okay, that's cool. But once you get money, once you've been in business for about a couple of years, bitch, if you don't go get that hefty, if you don't go get that Reynolds, if you don't go get that brand name shit, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. You just gotta be willing to. I would like to see more. It's baffling to me how, like, you'll see things like, for instance, Netflix about to go up on that price again. I'm seeing the same selection of bullshit. And I know these raises or these price increases are not going to raises for your employees. So it's like, what's the point? Am I ranting or am I making a piece of sense?
Nah, you make a little piece of sense. You got a little something there.
Thank you. I don't know all the ins and outs of every business and industry because I'm not in every business and industry, but I don't know. It's just these companies, we were rooting for you. Do better than this. Whatever she said.
But
Okay.
are they though?
Oh, Jesus. They won't. So at any rate, on that note, let's get started with topic number one. So I want to talk about this clip of Cheryl Underwood, and she's speaking on shacking up. Um, and she was on. I'm not calling that man Shay Shay. He grown. She was on Shannon Sharp's podcast, and apparently they dated, by the way, which is interesting. I kind of want to watch her interview. I haven't watched all of it. I did watch the clip, but I kind of want to watch it. And I actually met Cheryl Underwood when I was in culinary arts class. We were on a trip. And I think with the place sorry, the place that we were maybe doing a banquet for, she was there. I think I still have a picture with her. But at any rate, shout out to her. She's lost 110 pounds to start off. That's a good feat. Um,
Okay.
but she speaks on her opinions on shacking up, and she basically speaks on her views on monogamy and separate living before marriage and how she feels like my stuff is your stuff. My stuff is my stuff. Your stuff is your stuff. You can't have a key to my house and I don't want a key to yours. You know what I'm saying? Until we're married, there should be no like sense of entitlement, I guess you could say, in that term. What do you think about that? Because my thing is, I don't necessarily disagree with it. I used to be anti-shacking up, but I'm kind of in the gray area because it's like, for one, I'm not the most romantic person, so me giving my views is kind of, but also, and when I say that, I mean like not looking, I'm not in any type of, I'm not trying to look for anything right now. No relationship, no nothing. I'm not in that mode right now. But for me, how practical is it? I ponder for someone to not live with someone and then get married to them. Because I don't care what anybody says, it's just a difference when you're living with someone. Like even with just roommates. Like you can know somebody all your life, but you're not gonna know that bitch till you live with them. So do you think that's practical? What are your views on it? Do you agree with her? Are you kind of like in the middle with me? Because let me tell you what I don't believe before I get your viewpoint. I do not believe in these women playing house for these niggas. Housewife. I don't believe that. Y'all are doing housewife duties with girlfriend privileges, and that's at best. Some of y'all. Now, I mean, niggas will delude you and they will, talk a good game. They'll make you feel like you're in a relationship when you're not. They'll do everything but say it's a relationship. So I get that. But with some of y'all, these signs be there. Because them 6 round chick stories, my God. The red flag was in your face the whole time. But with that being said, let me know what you think, Ty.
I'm pretty much in the middle. I agree with her. You should, consider yourself, of course, the prize and all that extra stuff should come along um with the ring and all the whole nine of her explaining that. But me personally, I ain't about to wait for all that, and it's too late. Um, I love me a good shack. I love me a good hunch. I need to know what I'm dealing with before we decide oh, let's just, get married. Because, like you said, you could
Why
be
can't you
dating
do like
someone,
sleep?
friends with someone, knowing someone for years, but until you live with them, you don't know how that person truly is behind closed doors. And even still, yet,
Why can't you
with living
like?
with someone for the longest, go ahead.
Uh-huh. Why can't you just like do
Even
sleepovers?
because
Because
sleepovers
here's my thing.
leads to other.
The first, well, she's not saying saving herself. I don't think she was attacking it from that point. Although she did say, I'm not going to show your daughter how to be whores. And Cheryl, that was a bit much. I ain't going to hold you. Now, she an older black woman. That's just kind of how they talk. But I was like, Cheryl, that was a little bit much. I ain't like what you said that part. Because I was like, everybody's version of monogamy and relationships is not going to look the same. So I don't think we should be judging each other necessarily. Unless somebody just on some fugazi type shit. You know what I'm saying? But I was saying sleepovers and even on the first one, yeah, they might clean up the house a little more than they usually do or something like that. But I mean, if you set it to where it's structured, this sounds a little not romantic because it's planned. But like, let's say, okay, y'all are talking for 6 months. Somebody I think 6 months is a little soon to be moving in, but everybody moves a little quick nowadays. So let's say in 6 months, there's talks of let's shack up. My thing is, okay, if that's the thing, well, I mean, be smart about it. For the next 6 months, do at least 3 or 4 sleepovers a month, kind of get familiar with how each other live or is living, and then go from there. And then really and truly, I can kind of respect it more. I mean, if we're gonna shack up, I can respect it more if somebody does that for a whole nother year after dating, then gets married. Because my thing is, once you get married, you can break a lease. You know what I'm saying? I mean, money and stuff like that is a factor as well. But moving smartly, you can break a lease. If you plan properly as far as the move and stuff before when y'all do shack up. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like if anything, I think that would be a way to do it, I guess. But I mean, for my question for you is, what's wrong with like the sleepover idea or whatever? Is that something that you would be remiss
Definitely.
or like,
Yep,
okay,
definitely. Got because I again, I need to know what I'm dealing with,
hmm okay, I can
or
get
at
with
least
that.
have an idea of what I'm dealing with.
Yeah, I could get with that too, because I do think it's like the way that it's put in, like for instance, Christianity, like don't touch each other before. No, that is crazy. Anybody that's going to get married and you ain't fuck, that is crazy to me. Oh my god. And that'd be that like, what if you married them and everything else they checked off the right box except the sex was whack? Crazy. Or the thing little, or the thing stank, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know. I
Cheese.
don't know how people. I don't know how people could do that for real. That's crazy to me. But I don't think she was approaching it from a like. Well, then again, she did say, "I'm not gonna show your daughter how to be horse." I don't know. So maybe she. I don't think that Cheryl Underwood has not hunched before. So I don't think she was approaching it from like, don't move in, or no, premarital sex. I don't think she was framing it like that. I think she was just talking about shacking up in and of itself. And I do believe there's a slippery slope even when it comes to shacking up. Like, to be clear, when I said my example of how to maybe execute it, when I say shack up, I mean just that. The only thing that y'all have in each other's name is the apartment. Don't be co-signing cars. Don't be doing dumb shit. Like these are short-term decisions that have long-term life effects. So don't be doing
Man,
no stupid
even
shit
with
like that. Like,
co-signing the
and most
apartment.
people don't shack up. Just move in together. That's it. Don't
Mm-hmm.
co-sign no cars. Don't fuck up your credit.
Mm-mm.
Like, unless you got plans to leave America. By the way, if anybody is looking to leave America, Aretha, um, you like a credit score. Just get you enough money and leave this place. You know what I'm saying? That don't exist nowhere else but here. America's a scam. It's a scam. So that was something that I found out. Would you ever see yourself leaving America? Not Orlando Brown, just
I
talking.
actively think about it 4 days a week. And I'm not sure. I do plan on taking a vacation to Canada to see one of my friends. It was supposed to be this year. It might still be. But yeah, that's a dangerous thing because I might get over there, like it, and just decide, well, I live here now, so
Yeah. My sister's
I don't
friend,
know.
they went to Puerto
That'd be my
Rico.
test run.
hmm My sister's friend, they went to Puerto Rico, and he stayed. He never came back. Now, I mean, well, he's mixed,
Is
but he white, so I mean, they can kind of do
he
stuff like
still
that.
alive?
But yeah, he was
Oh,
cool with some of the some people who he's actually cool with some of the residential gang members, Charles. So
oh,
plus connects.
oh, wow. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I
Love
said, well,
that for
bitch,
him.
people, ain't everybody so lucky. All I'm
Wow.
doing is winning trips and shit.
At least you got that going on.
You need money to spend on the damn trips.
Oh, yeah, that too.
hmm Yes. My God. We're working on it. We're working on it. So moving on from there, let's talk about the whole Tabitha Brown situation. So she released a video, and of course, as we all seen, a lot of companies have pulled back on the GI hires. I think I have a list on my phone. Hopefully, me going in my photos doesn't mess up this app. It shouldn't know. Let me see if I have the list of people, or not people, but companies. You know what? I don't, but that's okay. You can run over to Shea Butter Twitter, as they like to shade us, Black Twitter. You can run over there and find the list. But Target is one of the companies that did roll back on the DEI policies, and I'm not gonna hold you that like you're never shocked as a black person in America, but it was kind of jarring just because they were so adamant about like even I remember when the Black Lives Matter protest gone wrong that had turned into like looting and stuff like that. People were frustrated and they started stealing from these companies. Even then I remember Target not being too heavy on that and working on like one of the content creators that I followed, Lovely T. She's from Mississippi. And she was talking about I can't remember the logistics of it or like the specifics of it, but basically like Target was very adamant about Black Lives Matter. We understand your frustrations, blah blah blah. Like they weren't too harping on the stealing and stuff like that. I mean, of course, the individual stores had to do what they had to do for y'all dumb asses that was looting with no mask on. Bitch, it's COVID. You ain't got no excuse but to have a mask on, bitch. I ain't even mad at people who's doing crime. I'm mad at you doing it and being dumb about it. Let me rephrase that. Doing crime towards a corporation. Now, don't steal from your neighbor, because bitch, we all trying to get it. But if you stealing from child, that is nothing on my back. I'm sorry. And as far as the correlation between if people steal, then the stores have to raise prices. Bitch, the prices have been risen. The prices have risen, arose. So pick another story. It's y'all use that excuse when we're talking about that. Y'all use that excuse when we're talking about raising the price of or the wage to a livable wage so people can fucking get their fucking groceries. And you can't in one mouth pop shit and say America is the best country, but then you got half of the country fucking struggling. More than half of it. Hell, these celebrities ain't even got it like that. Shit. Sorry, I went off on a little tangent. I'm gonna grab the bag. You there, Ty?
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
here.
there we go. Okay, all right, okay. Um, my bad. Okay, so I first wanted to highlight that so Tabitha basically, for me, this is how I interpreted the video, and you let me know if you interpreted it differently before I go into my bullet points. I I feel like Tabitha was saying, I understand if you feel the need to boycott, One of the alternatives could be you just support the black businesses in the company. Because yeah, Target is going to make a percentage, or I don't know how these contracts work. I don't know if maybe there's two types of contracts where you sell your product, you give them maybe either you occupy storage spaces, so you pay them for that. I don't know if it's you pay them a percentage of your products, but even if that's the case, Tabitha and all the black owned brands, they're going to receive more than what Target is going to receive from that. And at the end of the day, racist people aren't going to stop working there. If anything, they just got turned on by this shit. Even though if you look into the history of DEI, it's mostly helped white women. Again, all these fucking things that y'all keep trying to label black people as the benefactors of, it's not true. But neither here nor there, y'all gonna have to learn that shit yourself when y'all are in the same boat as us. Can't find a fucking job. But that's what happens when you vote against your best interest. But nonetheless, I took it as she was saying, regardless of how the percentage works with the store, she was saying you can support the black businesses within the stores that roll back DEI. Or you cannot support at all, and then she did highlight that she has like 1 year left of her contract with Target. I don't know what her contract with Walmart is or any other brands. I know she has, Donna's Beauty and Ulta because I think I bought it there. Either I purchased it or I bought it from there or saw it in there. But she was basically saying she understands the frustration, but like, this is business. They can't just, oh, I'm pissed off. I'm, angered by this. Excuse me. So I'm gonna pull my stuff off the rack. She basically was saying like, this is not how it works. But I mean, she had her same Tabitha Brown way about explaining it. She was gentle with her delivery. I don't feel like although let's be very clear, she has self-interest in the matter because it's her business. I didn't look at it as somebody who was just full on cooning, if you will. Because I did see some people trying to say, oh, F you, Tabitha, you just care about yourself, or blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I
Like just to
understand
overlook what
where
they
people
got
are
going
coming
on
from.
and keep buying my product.
Yeah, yeah. And some people are going to come off like that. I didn't get that vibe from her. And when she said, one thing that I always think about is y'all think about this black owned business as the CEO. I think a lot of times we as black people do this. Keep in mind, this black CEO, if they're anything like I am, like I would only hire black people. So if you stop supporting me, you're also going to stop supporting my black, workers that I have to pay. You know what I'm saying? So I looked at it as this is more than just about Tabitha Brown. You know what I'm saying? I kind of looked at it as a whole scope and of things. Um, what are your thoughts though?
I'm pretty much in agreement with you. Um, yeah, like you said, I don't think she's explaining it in a coonish way because she is right. She does have a point, Got to make a living. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, even if you just
And my thing
support
is
the
like,
black-owned businesses,
yeah. And then like she said, there's a trickle down effect on boycotting stores that sell black owned products because the black owned products are going to be, even though we bring in the most revenue, as she said, and I wanted to say this quote for the end before we moved on, but our money is the dollar that really, really counts. When she said that, I felt that shit because if black people could mobilize, like, oh my God, it's just so sad how we are so far away yet so close to the potential of what we could be. And, I've already said I don't really feel like we're a community. I feel like we're communities and we just happen to share the same race. Like one of my YouTube content creators that I follow, Erica Cadero TV, she says just because we share a race does not mean we share identity. And I think that is
mm,
like, it's so true, unfortunately. You'll always have a Nelly. You'll always have a Rick Ross, a Snoop Dogg. You'll always have a Candace Owens. You'll always have a fill in the blank. Like, and those are famous people, but they're a microcosm of, mind you, these famous people have influence. So I hate when people say you're using famous black people. No, these are real conversations. There are real black people that are still calling their children's hair nappy and saying, certain things that they shouldn't be saying to black children. You know what I'm saying? That are instilling in those real venomous and self-hating ideals. Like these are real conversations that we have every day. These are whether it's kitchen table talk or a celebrity here or there or whatever. I'm going on a tangent. Let me really back it up. But um, yeah, I think for me it's kind of hard because, like I said, we are like a community with communities. Everybody's not going to like hell. Black people were mad at H&M for how long ago, or for how long, and then we're shopping right back there shopping at it. Um, I did a video on this. I can't remember if I still have it up, but I did a video on Waffle House. There was this black lady in Waffle House, and they called the cops on her. They said she was trying to take home silverware, which I was like, I don't know if this lady need a fork and a spoon and a knife. I mean, they said it was to go silverware, so I'm confused because I'm like, to go silverware is Waffle House. It's not like a restaurant where I think it might be different in other states. I'm pretty sure it's the same way around. It's usually plasticware. I don't know. The story was a little weird when they explained it, but all I know is this black lady was on the ground with a cop body on top of her. This is a huge, chunky white cop on top of her. He looks like he has to be no less than 270, definitely pushing more towards 320. And he's on top of her, like just, you know how cops are with us, doing the most. And now her breast is exposed. Like her breast fell out of her shirt. So, hello? You still there, Ty?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Okay.
Hello?
My bad. Some technical issues or something. I'm here. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. It said something about reconnecting. That's weird. But at any rate, going back to what I was
Yeah,
saying,
your
her
voice was
breast was
going in and out.
oh, well, her breast was exposed. Like the cop was on top of her, her titty fell out. And like, so I mean, obviously this is an example of uh police brutality. Like you're doing way too fucking much, especially given the story that we were given. I can't remember all the ins and outs, but basically I recall Waffle House getting on their official Instagram, or not official Instagram, but Twitter, and saying, we are allowing the policemen to investigate, da 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 da, which I don't have no problem with business doing that. We all know the same format they're going to put out. But I recall at the end of the tweet, them putting out something to the effect of, we see nothing wrong with the cops' actions, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, bitch, at that point, and don't get me wrong, now Waffle House do hit. It usually hit. It ain't never missed for me, but bitch is breakfast food at the end of the day. And so, like, for me, that was enough. Like, I said, I'm not supporting Waffle House anymore. I have not been to Waffle House since then. I think that was maybe like around 2015, 2016, 2017, somewhere around there. I haven't been to Waffle House but like two times. And the only reason why is because, well, first of all, I didn't pay for it either time. But, it was the only place that was open in my area. You know what I'm saying? But
Hmm.
literally that's like, what, 7, 8, 9 years ago, and I've only managed to end up in that place like 2 or 3 times. And again, I did not give them my money. It was paid for by somebody. So why do black people make it look like it's hard to do that? Like, okay, if you can't support a Waffle House, go to Huddle House. If you can't support H&M, go to, another brand. And I mean, to be honest, we all know at the end of the day as black consumers, that's what we are to them. We're consumers. It's not like we're real people. But I mean, you can at least, even though you're a company, I can kind of assume you probably, don't really F with us like that anyways. But you could at least not, say it out loud or race bait us or put kids in shirts that say coolest monkey in the jungle and they just so happen to be black children. You know.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I've just always been, I see the outrage. I wonder how long it's going to last. And that's just a lot of times I think black people, we're outraged for a little bit. And then after that, it is what it is. Like there's no real type of absolving. You know, a lot of black people now watch the NFL, whereas a couple of years ago when Colin did what he did, oh, we're boycotting. It just never seems to stick. Um, and that's unfortunate. Hopefully that'll change. I don't know what would it take, but I don't know. Moving on to some more lighter topics. Um, before we get back into some heavier ones. Let's talk about SZA, Kiki, and Issa Rae. Um, first off, friend, are you gonna go see one of them days?
Yeah, I plan on it. When? I'm not sure just yet because I am working um heavily and actually I want to see Companion, Wolfman, and another movie before I actually see that. So at some point, yeah. How about you?
Yes, I sent it to our group chat, not ours, but another group chat that I'm in. Unfortunately, my friend in Chicago, but I did think of you when I wanted to see it, but then I was like, well, damn, he moved. But I
I'm
sent
a
it to my
friend.
friend, the one that I said, the one that I said reminds me of you, Brandon. I sent it to him, and then my friend Patrick, and see if those gutter butt trollops texted me back. But I would probably want to go see it with one of them or something like that. But yeah, I definitely intend to go see it. I think for me, like first of all, their interview before we even get to the just the black ass chemistry in their interview, I think this is such a moment. Like we haven't seen a blockbuster get this much hype with black women since Girls Trip, and that was how long ago? Um, do you remember when Girls Trip came out? Was it like 2016?
Somewhere around there. I know I was still innocent around that time of life.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'm like, this is just a good ass moment. None of them can pass the paper brown test, paper brown bag test. If you get it, you get it. I'm just saying. Sometimes y'all be putting black on stuff that's diet black, you know. So it's just the chocolatey, the melanin, like all of it, and just to see them vibe and interact. And then like SZA and Kiki and Issa are all natural comedians to me. So watching them on these little clips and these interviews, it's just been very like it's been very not therapeutic. It's been a break from some of the more challenging times that we're in right now. But yeah, I enjoyed watching that clip. And the and you that SZA uttered, plus putting in Issa's marriage, like when I say this shit was top tier comedy to me. Did you end up watching that part? Because Kiki had asked, oh my God, what did she ask SZA? Oh, she asked SZA, is Drake a good kisser?
And
Excuse me.
she didn't really have a response for that, though.
Kiki is messy as fuck. Oh my
She did the
God,
right
when I
thing.
say I fell on the floor, she did what needed to be done. But when I say I fell on the floor, I was like, only Kiki would ask this shit. Oh, oh my God. I screamed for real when she said that shit. I really
Oh.
did. I was hollering
Sizzle was
because
mad too.
I just love how SZA has been able to navigate dating Drake and been so hush hush about it. And that's great for her. She should continue, babe. Don't answer nothing about that Negro. Well, half. Um,
Oh, oh,
but
oh, oh.
hey, they not like us.
No,
But let me stop. He sent me a cease and desist. Y'all know he in his feelings right now. He is going out like you know what? All I'm gonna say is he will always be Jimmy in that wheelchair.
I heard you like him young.
Moving on from there, that's actually a perfect segue into DJ academics. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh
Um.
God, yeah,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that was
See how that
weird.
happens? Oh my God, it was so uncomfortable to watch. Real quick, we're not gonna spend too much time on it because it's DJ Academics. Everything about this guy just makes me sick. The way he looks like a sloth, like a human sloth. The way he is in that chair. Like, I know that chair stank.
Ugh.
I know that chair stank, and I know it's streaks in them drawers. He just, everything about him looks nasty and dirty. When I heard about the essay, claim from that lady that outed him a couple years ago, although I was disgusted for her that she was ard, it was also the fact that it's academic. Gross. That's like triply traumatizing. Because for one, you've been ard, and then for two, you've been ard by something that looks like, well, I just, and if I recall, he might have tried, I think he tried to say they were effing, and then he left the room, and his friends did something to her. I can't remember, but at this point, he's a nefarious person. To me, he's always been trash. Whenever I see him trending, it's either because he's slurping some incel, or he's being an incel, slurping some dude's ball sack, aka Drake, aka Tory Lanez, um, or he's going at it with women, aka Yo Miami. Like, he's always he's never in there for anything positive. And this just brings it to a new level when you introduce pretty much base level grooming. Like, he told that boy, I can get you in rooms if you do this. Like, that's grooming ABCD form right there. Easy for you. There's nothing to deny there. So I don't know. I wonder what the response from his fans has been. Because I know he has a lot of people who can't stand his guts that are hidden underneath all of that Tyson stuff.
Mm.
You know what? He deserves it. He's a fucking. This is another thing too. Y'all be saying don't be mean and stuff. These people are groomers. Fuck him. In his stomachs. With a Z. So at any rate, what are your thoughts?
Um, I couldn't even watch the entire video because that it was just it was hard to watch. Why? What in your mind possessed you to hack such a thing to someone of that age? And you're like giving the talk to anybody of any age is that's one thing. But for you to just come at him and repetitively keep going, that's just weird. Like
Uncomfortable. It was sad. It was disgusting. It was so many things.
it was just oh man. I yeah, like I said, I couldn't continue to watch that because I was fucking uncomfortable looking at it. So I can only imagine what the hell the 15-year-old boy felt.
All I tweeted was, academics has been a piece of shit, so I'm not surprised. The young man handled it well. That's all I could say. Um, Let me put on my heated blanket. Just a piece. So, yeah, I just I don't expect much from him, but I was thoroughly disgusted for sure. Um, Moving on to another Nick Nog. Trick Daddy defending Nelly. Um, so my first bulletin point is many celebrity black men honor bro code and have no morality in their racial identity until it's beneficial for them to do so. These niggas will scream, black kings, we was kings. They're trying to harm a black man and then do everything in their personal life that is harmful to the tropes that black men have. All these kids out of wedlock. Y'all love to shame the single mother. They're not making themselves mothers by themselves. And it's so funny how everybody was clapping for, a lot of people was clapping for Roe v. Wade, but when that Mississippi governor playfully put in a bill for y'all niggas to get text if you were in a relationship with a girl and she caught you masturbating and you was gonna get fined $1,000, he was halfway joking when he proposed the idea and y'all got in your feelings. So all of a sudden now you know what it looks like when somebody's trying to police your body. And I actually tweeted, I want to get your opinion on this. I actually tweeted to that real quick before we go back to this topic that I think instead of that, what I think should happen is it's safe to get a vasectomy at the age of 18. I think that Men should be, they should have to have a vasectomy. Once it's safe at 18, long as there's no health complications, no none of that. And when they decide they want to be, especially, and I think this would be applicable and helpful, especially in our society, we don't talk about sex ed. We don't pressure guys to protect themselves. These men are out here spreading it low and wide. These men are out here fucking turkeys. Ty, there is a video of men fucking turkey ball turkeys. These men will fuck anything. So if that is the case, and you're having sex with women, which can produce a child, and some of y'all having sex with a bit of everything. But um, if that's the case, then once you show you're a viable citizen, once you show that you are a person who is worthy of children, worthy of progeny, worthy of an offspring and a quote unquote legacy, because a lot of y'all, you treat your legacy like shit, and then you wonder why you're in the nursing home and nobody will come to see you, and you're getting somebody to get your ass washed every day. Like, and you can't blame it on the single mother at that point. Like, the child has their own perspective and opinion of you from the bullshit that you have spewed, whether or not the mother imparted it in their children's head. You know what I'm saying? Because they love to
Hmm.
pull that card. Oh, the mom turned the child. No, a lot of y'all kids don't fuck with y'all. I think that's Gary Owen's situation. I don't know too much about the personal of it, but I feel like his wife didn't have to say anything. His kids don't fucking like him. You might have provided on the material front, and that's the problem too. A lot of men think materialism is a materialistic is all it takes to be a father, just because you're providing. Um, when kids want that quality time, they want you to know what their favorite color is. It'd be good if you could. There was one of the niggas on, I think it was Love and Marriage, DC Huntsville. I think that nigga didn't know what his kid was allergic to. Almost killed the goddamn kid, if I'm not mistaken. Or I could be tying up two stories. But it was definitely a story about, a father almost getting his child, having to get to the emergency hospital, basically, because he didn't know what he was allergic to. That's crazy to me that you will sit there and it's just like, I don't know, biologically it's already unfair because women put their lives on the line for these kids. You know what I'm saying? All the nurturing, all the body
Hmm.
changes, all this. And you can't even at least know what the fuck your child is allergic to. You sorry sack of shit. I don't know. Y'all women, and I mean, it's men date men too. So y'all be putting up with a lot. I'll see it. I'll see it. But going back to what I was saying, um, for a lot of these celebrity men, like, it's bro code. There is no blackness until it's a black man. And we've seen that with the way that black men responded to Megan Thee Stallion, both online, offline. The conversations were so, like, the work conversations, I would walk away. I would just walk away. I wouldn't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? And yes, I do have a
Hmm.
personal bias because I actually like Megan, but on top of that, Megan is a woman who was shot by a man that has already shown himself to be a deplorable person, even after you get off with, like if this had happened to Joe Schmo, if this was Joe Schmo and Megan dating and not Tory, you think he would have been walking around freely able to assault August Alsina because that nigga didn't dap him up when he saw him? Bitch. Like, and it's like they erased that part. Like, this is not a hill that you want to die on. This nigga is not Tory Mandela. I don't understand. But I mean, do you see where I'm coming from with that first point about, the bro code and, a lot of them, they're not black until it's time to be, until it's beneficial for them. And then when it's time for them to
Hmm.
separate themselves, then they will again.
Hmm.
And
It
then for
almost
me,
reminds me of did you
mhm,
see the movie The Deliverance?
I think so, yeah.
What did the daughter say? She was like,
Wait, is that the movie where the girl
"Oh,
said,
you
I
only."
can smell your nappy pussy?
Oh my God, yes.
Jesus.
Yeah, the nappy pussy
Yeah,
movie.
yeah. Uh-huh, there we go. Okay, yeah.
The daughter had said, what is it? You only want to be black when it's when you're down or when it's convenient or something like that.
Yeah. I think a lot of people move like that. I think black men, celebrity men, a lot of them move like that. Black men, I would just say with platforms in general, move like that. You know, they'll sit there and say, oh, the community we want to build, one of this. We find your Twitter, you saying dark skinned bitches and all this other type of stuff. I feel like non-black people, when they want to attach themselves to blackness, these Disney stars, you know, back in the day when they wanted to, you know, wash themselves with their Disney Channel image, they want to attach themselves to blackness. Then they want to talk about some, that hip hop shit is ratchet. Now, Miley, come here, girl. Come here. I mean, is it? I mean, real quick. I think what annoyed me with that, with Miley doing that, was you decided to align yourself with French Montana. If you wanted to put yourself on some conscious shit, you could have went and aligned yourself with, I don't know, Kendrick Lamar or somebody more attuned to that. So you decided to align yourself with ratchet hip hop, and then when it got too ratchet for you, then you wanted to denounce it. I don't like that. That's never sat well with
They
me that she did
call
that.
it the
But
bangers
bangers,
era.
yeah, but bangers is still cute though. It was. Um, But they do it. Biracial people do it when they want to, you know, jump in out of blackness. And I'm not gonna lie, it's a two-way street on that one because black people will pull them in and out of blackness when convenient too, and that shit is annoying to me. I have never called Kamala our first black VP. I have never called Barack Obama our first black president. Even when I was younger, the concept of he's half and she's half, that would have never been something that I griped with or grappled with. Um, Now, I'm not going to mince words with people in conversation. If they say first black, I'm just going to like move forward with the conversation because it doesn't need to be an argument for me. I'm also not going to tell somebody they can't identify as black, even if they are just half black. But in my head, you will be half. That's what you are. I see too many black people trying to attain a look, especially like with like and I love me some black women, love black women down, but and I don't want to harp on this too much because I do feel that this needs to be a conversation that black women explore. I know seeing black men bring up weave and hair and makeup and all that shit over and over is, first of all, it makes them look effeminate as fuck, but two, secondly, it's annoying to be policed like that. But you know, when I see a lot of the hairstyles that are popular now, they don't look like our hair. It doesn't look like what grows out of our hair. And extensions literally is supposed to be extending what's already there. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't mad at your 30-inch bust down, but if you're wearing that 12 months or 11 months out of the year and you never have anything that looks like an afro or no braids or no nothing, I just think that might need to be a conversation that you might want to, or a situation that you might want to dwell a little deeper in or delve a little deeper in. You know what I'm saying? You kind of get where I'm coming from?
Hmm.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, same thing with black men. You know, if you are in a chokehold or in a heart attack because you can't get your fade done or you can't get your waves in your hair, like, I mean, the conversation can go both ways, really. That's one thing that's always annoyed me about it, too, because, like, black men will bring that up as a slight towards black women when it's like, nigga, y'all all walk around with your hair altered, too. Like, it doesn't look like what it grows out of your scalp when you were first born either. So, I don't know. Um, But my next bulletin point was, he said, congratulations for that 1.5 mil. And then he said, it's nothing personal when it's your business. And my response to that would be when your business ties are to a racist bigot who is against the same people you used as your initial fan base, it absolutely the fuck is personal. I added in the fuck for emphasis. But what do you think about that?
So I have a few things for this. Mm. So first off, I'm going to say, to each his own. Congratulations on that money because that is a lot. Um, I am in no way agreeing with him performing for that. In
Mm-hmm.
no way at all. But what I am going to say is everybody needs to eat, and I don't know that man's money situation because let's be
Who
honest,
got some
not
away
to
from
my
it?
huh.
I ain't mean to cut you off, but he do got some lawyer fees he need to pay off for getting stuck
I was
somewhere.
about to say,
Yeah, yeah. I thought
I
about that,
haven't.
and the funny thing is, Ty, this
Go
why we
ahead.
there. This why we tie square. 'Cause I was thinking about it as you were about to say it. I thought about that. That's the first time I thought about it. I said, well, it is Nelly. He is a well-known star, and he did just get caught onto some pretty hefty charges. They're gonna charge his ass. They're gonna run them pockets.
And not just that, he is, like you said, known, but when's the last time Nelly has come out with something or, did something
Right.
or,
Child, the last time I heard about Nelly, it
sometimes
was
the
when
well runs dry.
yeah, it was when what's the one that keep gay baiting a little bit? NBA young boy. No,
Mm-hmm.
ooh, my bad.
I know who
NLE
you're
child.
talking about.
Yeah, I'm sorry, NBA young boy. I don't want no smoke. He look like a. Oh my god, when I see him in photos, sometimes he just looks like a demon. Like he looks like it's weird. Um,
But
but at any rate, NLE, he sampled his song, the Hot in Here song, and then Erica Banks. But that's the last time I heard of Nelly, so it wasn't even for him. It was for his sample.
yeah,
Um,
we don't know what that man got going on. Like you said, he could be facing charges. So again, I to a degree I understand what Trick is saying, but that also still comes with the fact that when you do stuff like this, you're going to have to accept the negative consequences behind it because this is just something you don't do. But hopefully the money was worth it. Like again, if he absolutely needed it and bills wasn't being made paid, hopefully he he sacrificed his integrity for a just cause in his life. But if he just had the money and was just doing it to do it, but then you are even more of a sellout than what you currently are.
I would respect it more if that's really what's going on. I honestly would respect him more if he would just say that. Like all that bullshit about it's the president, it's the honor, it's the White House. Girl, we black. We don't care about that. We don't care like
Man, the
that.
way
Like
they
unless
probably
you're black.
revoke that damn check so quick if he say that, speak the truth.
No, no, no. I'm saying if he just said, "Hey, I was in a tough spot. I needed the money." He don't have to go into it. We know we see the blogs, the blogs. Oh, I'm the blogs. Sponsor the
And
blogs.
then
That's what I was trying to find. American medicine. I sponsor the blogs. Sorry,
I
what you
did want to
said?
bring something else up that Trick Daddy said because
uh
it rubbed me the wrong way, and I'm going to try to put this politely.
Okay.
So
What did he say?
Trick Daddy was like, he gave an example. He said if it was him and his worst enemy wanted him to perform for, that amount of money or, more or whatever, he said he would do it. And in my head, I said, bullshit, fuck that. Cause I'd be damned if I'm beefing with you and I gotta perform for you like some damn monkey on the stage just so you can pay me. Cause we still beefing. Like, I'm not doing that. But to each his
He was
own, like I said.
I think he was just bro coding. Like he was just saying dumb shit that he's really not gonna do. This Trick Daddy is from the streets. He ain't gonna perform for no ops. He literally was to me, it was nigga babble. Like it's the same way when hoteps start to go in on their little we was kings. It's bro code babble bullshit. It's all the same font. It's just a different way to write it or however you want to phrase it. But it went in one ear and out the other. So I get what you're saying, Ty, but I don't think he was serious. He was just bro coding. Like men will defend any and everything, and they'll use just anything to do it. And as long as they can get one guy in the room to kind of halfway nod and be like, yeah, I kind of see what you're saying. It's like mission accomplished, even though the rest of us see that you look dumb as fuck. Um, yeah. I just hope everybody enjoys what they signed up for. Now, one good thing I will give it is a broken clock is right twice a day. I heard number 47 reverse medical bills showing up on your credit report. So, and I give a bitch they props when they write. So, shout out to you, Donald. You get no claps from me, bitch. So, shout out to you for that, if that's true.
I need him to do that ASAP because I'm currently trying to
No,
get
I
my
think he
credit
did.
right.
I think that was in the executive orders. I think I need to look it up to verify, but or if somebody let me know in the comments on YouTube if that's true. But I think from what I saw on social media, they said once he sent out his orders, like that was in it. Excuse me, or
Oh,
something to the effect of that.
well, that'd be
Like this was something he did recently. Um, but I just hope everybody, everybody's getting what they signed up for. So I hope y'all enjoy it. I don't even know if I'm gonna be here the whole 4 years, to be honest. I might do a work visa or something, and then come back and see if I still want to be here after he's turned us into even more of a minstrel show because the minstrel show has already started. Um, but yeah, and then before I move on from that, I just want everybody to know like nobody is exempt from this. I see like some black people celebrating that he's getting rid of like LGBTQ stuff. You do know he's coming after your black ass next, right? Like bigotry doesn't stop at sexuality and magically jump over race. So just I be careful with what we're celebrating and stuff like that. But I mean, hey, it goes to show you all black lives do truly not matter to all black people. So I said what I said. Moving on from there. um, Miss Princess Love. Jesus. You know them biracials I said earlier. She one of
mm-hmm.
them. She one of them that get on my goddamn nerves. So she's explaining this story about I think like Ray J thought she was over at Drake's because she was dropping off Sierra Marie. The guy got her to talk a little bit. She said, so it was Drake's. So first of all, you being messy in yourself and telling the story. Because girl, why do we need to know? I never needed to know if Sierra Marie and Drake was ever linked. I could not care less. In fact, if I was her, I'd be pissed off that you told him that with everything that he got under around his name right now. But she's telling all this stuff. We already know they don't have no girl code. Anybody that or not they, but Princess don't have no girl code for Tierra. We already saw how Love and Hip Hop, uh, Hollywood went with their dynamic. So, nonetheless, my first point is who gives a fuck? Why do we need to know the story? Um, Secondly, my second bulletin point is they run in the same circles. So the fact that it got back to Ray that she was allegedly over at Drake's house is not surprising. Hell, Drake probably told him that himself. Like, what I think women need to understand is these niggas are the girls. They messier than women nowadays. Can I get an amen in the church?
Amen.
Like, for real. Like, so I don't, and also again, like, why do we care? Like, what was the importance of you telling us this, Princess? We don't care. She reminds me of a certain housewife, just light skinned and pretty, and that's it, and brings nothing else. Why are we talking about her? In fact, because Ray J, that's it. Um, and to be clear, I don't want to diminish her. I think she does have businesses and stuff like that, but it's just like every time I see you in the news, it's Ray or some mess. So it's like it's kind of hard to not deduce Princess to just we know you because of Ray J, because you don't give shit else but that. And if it's not that, you beefing with his tricks, because that's probably, or not his tricks, but his women that he's tricking on, because that's what I think Suki is to him. I don't think they're in an actual relationship. Um, did you have any thoughts on that? Because what I really want to get into is her internalized anti-blackness, but I was gonna hold off to see if you had anything to add to Tia Marie
Well,
allegedly.
on top of that, if what Princess said was true, um, just choose your friends carefully because that's messy as fuck. Why would you have somebody do something, help you out, help you sneak and do something, and then you lie and say it was them? That's fun. That's not funny. It's quite sad, but
You know what
like,
I'm thinking about? I want to go back and watch and get. I don't remember if she said the time frame that it happened because if this just happened after like Tierra Marie and you got into that fight, or if it happened around the time of Love and Hip Hop first starting, then I can completely understand why she tried to start some shit with you. I ain't even gonna hold you. I can't remember this premise because it's been so long since I've watched Love and Hip Hop, and especially that season because that was season one of Hollywood. I think that came out in like 2011, 12. I can't remember. But that from what I remember, they did Tierra Marie. Her and Ray did Tierra Marie dirty, and I think like Tierra Marie and Ray at the time. I think they were dating, I want to say. Um,
Well,
but if
then,
it was
sounds
around
like
that
get
time,
back.
then hey, it do to me. That's what I'm thinking. And you know, people love to tell stories to villainize somebody when really the story is the get back from what they did to somebody. So I don't know if it was that or what. But what I really want to get into is her internalized anti-blackness because you got into it with a model and Negra. You popped her over Ray because you thought they were dating, whatever. Again, this relationship has been toxic from the beginning. That nigga pushed you in a pool. And I'm gonna reiterate that multiple times, Princess. He pushed you in a pool. Um, so while you're talking about that's why Amara's baby daddy said he couldn't stand her black bitch ass or whatever, or talking about Suki and trying to post a picture of her with no wig on saying he said stop calling you without your hair on. You do know you're the preference that's getting the same treatment, right? You do know that, right? You're a failed preference, in fact, because you got the same shitty ass type of nigga. You didn't even use your preferential treatment to put you in the place of, let's say, Rihanna dating that billionaire. And look, if she had stayed with him, sorry, Rihanna, I'm sorry. I like you, girl, but she is riding a dying for her man in that courtroom. Rihanna in a courtroom. It don't even sound right. But these are the decisions that y'all women will make for these niggas, and I do not understand.
I miss Rihanna.
Oh, Jesus. You think she ever gonna put out any more music?
No, 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 no.
I'm hollering. I think she will give us she'll give us out one day. Maybe. I don't even know. She is kind of giving me like mommy mode. I'm kind of through, and I'm not gonna lie. That Super Bowl performance was kind of giving me farewell.
The
So,
last thing I believe she made was Lift Me Up for Black Panther, and I never felt so low. That wasn't what I was.
yeah, child. A lot of people was not. She said lift me up. They put her down. They did. Hmm.
No, she put me down in my
I'm
feelings.
hollering.
I'll never
um.
recover from.
So yeah, Princess, do better. Stop thinking because you have silky hair and more Asian features that you the shit because you're getting the same shitty type of nigga. There we go. Um, when you have true confidence and you come to us with something other than just your looks, we'll talk. Um, Starting on from her, from one hip hop and loving hip hop fool to two others. Kirk and his three earrings. Now, first off, I want to shout out my girl Jessica Dime. I think that was Beauty and the Beast, her podcast. And Jessica's out here doing her stuff. I like her. We talk a lot about Cardi B and like K Michelle in terms of underground, not underground, but underdogs on Love and Hip Hop. But I truly think Jessica Dime from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, in her own way, excuse me, in her own way, was an underdog as well. You know, I remember when she first came on, excuse me, with the pink hair. And, a lot of people were just like, what the fuck is this? You know what I'm saying? And as time went on and we got to know her season after season, she became one of like the favorites of the cast. Um, and I listen to a lot of her music. You know, I like Memphis music. So her, Glorilla, like to me, they, I ain't gonna say one and the same, but they're definitely similar in that regard. Just that Memphis realness. Here's my story. It ain't perfect, but this is what I did. I'm here now. We up. Blah blah blah. I'm taking all my people with me. So she give me that same, or Glorilla give me that same vibe that I got from Dime when I first started, like people who she was. But shout out to her. I just want to get that out of the way. Um. So Kirk and Rashida, I stepped back and took myself out of the lens of how we usually look at Kirk and Rashida, and I tried to be like, okay, I'm gonna give this a chance and just view it in the lens that they want us to see it in. They want us to believe that Kirk and Rashida have played tag and tit for tat this whole relationship. Not the whole relationship, but you get the gist of what I'm saying. Like throughout the relationship, there's been, okay, well, he got Jasmine pregnant. I did this, that, and the third. When I looked at Rashida's face and she said, I was a little turned in my time. I always been a little lit. I mean, did you go get pregnant from another nigga? Like, what is lit to her? Is my question. Because my thing is, let's be clear on what the even score is if we're gonna talk about it. Because Kurt was fooling around with somebody on you in the hot tub scene. He swabbed your child, and then Jasmine, his side chick, is or side chick is a full time Love and Hip Hop cast member now. So is your get back really in private? Are you doing all of this? Like, where's the? There's no equalizer here. And also, for me, the nerve to hear Kirk say, if I wanted to leave, I could have left too. Bitch, no, you couldn't. Y'all hoes stuck together like Beyonce and Jay-Z. That's why she's still there. Hell.
He technically did leave several times.
Now, Beyonce might have got her lit back. I ain't gonna hold you. He did leave several times, actually. Now, Beyonce might have got her lit back. And it might have been with a girl, too. I ain't gonna hold you, because I heard some of them lyrics on Honey Beyonce. You nasty.
I was Becky.
Oh, my God. At any rate. So, what are your thoughts on the whole Kirk and Rashida clip?
I don't have an opinion on that. Because for one, I am not dating. And that's I don't have a toe to dip into the putting the input in the relationship. Cool, but if I did have an opinion, um, with all due respect, you both are dumb, and I'm going to mind my own business.
There we go, spare folks' business. Let me stay out of it. Tell Kirk and his 3 earrings. I said, hey, Rashida got bags. Her husband's a girl. Let me stop. Let me stop. That shit
My
is
name
so
is
fucking funny.
Becky.
When I tell you, K Michelle, a little song about Rashida went triple platinum in my household. um, so moving on from there, let's put the love of hip hop down. Let's touch on Washington Commanders QB Jada's mom warning them girls, as she said. Um, so this is the mother of the QB player who said that her number one worry about him is, these girls, and she basically went on this whole, like, it was crazy, but it was funny because it was true. Like, she was given, I'm about that. I mean, she is, a commander, so she got a little presence to her. She got a little fire in her. So, she's like them girls. And she went into this monologue and she was like, somewhere, somehow, some girl's mom is telling her that's Jalen. Or, Jalen, there we go, Jaden. I got Jalen's name on here too because we're going to touch on that. But somewhere they're telling their daughter that you're gonna get Jaden and blah 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 this that and the other, and she just wants you to know it ain't gonna happen. So I'm not gonna holler. I'm not gonna lie. When I watched it, I did holler just a little bit. Um, with that being her son, I just want to kind of touch on like protection versus coddling. I don't. He looks about 18. I'm not sure. Um, but he's kind of at that point where, the values are instilled, and from here, he's going to make grown decisions on his own. Now, of course, she's still going to have her, you know, she's not going to be too far away with the leash because he's younger, and he's about to come into, more than likely come into a lot of money, a lot of access. He's going to need help navigating that. Parenthood, it really doesn't stop at 18. Um, but I just kind of want to caution her on like coddling him because at the end of the day, it's like, Mom, you've kind of instilled what you could at this point. Now she is a commander, so I'm sure he had a strict upbringing, and I just want her to have a healthy balance of, protecting him, but at the same time allowing him to make his own decisions, and still, be there for him regardless. I just hope that she kind of rides that line well. Because she sound like she'll fuck a bitch up. Let me just say that. She sound like
Look
she
like
will
it too.
fuck a bitch up about her phone. Yep, yep, yep. If I was to be in a fight with her, I would like to be her ally, not the other way around. Um, so that is something that I did want to highlight. Um, I also kind of wanted to touch on like the dynamics of athletes and dating. I think this is so interesting to me because like sometimes, a lot of times we're always hearing this point and perspective of, oh, gold digger and you're just there for his money and blah, 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 and this, that, and the other. And it's like, well, first of all, duh. Like, yeah. And then second of all, it's like, I don't know. How do you feel about, like, for instance, the Drea and Jalen situation? Because I see a lot of these people try to infantilize, I feel like, these players sometimes. Now, with Drea and Jalen, it's kind of different because Jalen is literally Drea's son's age. But hey, you can take a hoe off the street, but you let me stop because Drea said your wholeness can be deleted now. So she did say that. I don't know if she deleted hers, but she said it. So, girl, that's crazy. Your son and your boyfriend is the same age.
Oh.
My God. But at any rate, even with a situation like Drea's and Jalen's is a little unique, I would say, I guess. But I know, like with the Brittany Renner situation, she was with a guy who was like 23 or 24, PJ Washington, and men were trying to say he that she groomed him. No, that's a grown ass man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. These black men, when they get with these preferential looking women, they know what it is. I'm sorry. Like I refuse to look at them in some type of innocent damsel in distress as some type of innocent damsel in distress. You know what this is. It's the same thing with older women, or older men get with younger women. We all know what it is. There's gonna be some type of financial perk there, more than likely. Like it is what it is. You give her money, she gives you her youth. It's an exchange.
Are
I don't know
you?
why people are making this huge big deal out of it. And I ain't gonna lie, Drea and Jalen, that one kind of is murky waters for me. But he posted up with his girl. He said, "Fuck what y'all think. Fuck what you heard."
Hmm.
Do you have any thoughts on that?
Nah, you pretty much summed that up.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. No thoughts on Drea and Jalen?
Mm-mm. I just want to emphasize on the fuck what you heard.
Okay, there we go. All right, so I want to
Yeah.
move on to more sports news. The way that this list kind of goes together, even though I just, like, I am amazing. So at any rate, we're parlaying into Royce Reed airing out Dwight Howard. Um, so Royce Reed was on Cam Newton's podcast, and he basically came out and asked her, I just want to ask, is the nigga gay? And,
Mm.
she confirmed and she said he would like my finger. Now, I'm going to put in a contrary to popular belief here. I'm sorry if it is a sexual act between a man and a woman. I don't care what goes for you. If it's an act between a man and a woman, I don't think you can really call that not straight. You know what I'm saying? Like, it might not be for you. Most men probably are. Hell, to be honest, I think if a lot of y'all men were out here just being yourselves instead of trying to be what you think manhood looks like, some of y'all probably would like fingers in your ass. Who knows? But, most men are probably not going to opt for that in their bedroom. But I don't know, Ty, do you look at that as gay? And also, I want to
Um.
ask you this real quick. How do you feel about men essentially cock policing other men? This is something that is annoying to me
Wait. What do you
because, like,
mean?
when I say that, I mean like trying to tell men, like they're trying to tell them, oh, you don't need to be with this girl, you don't need to be with her. She's trying to use you for your, like how they did with what's that ball player? The player who, I can't remember his name, but he's got the little white Hispanic girl, and people were saying that she was being rude at his um ceremony, but she came
Oh,
out and
the black
explained it.
man.
Yeah, yeah, him. The one she said she really wasn't that attracted to him. They were trying to tell him what to
Um.
do with his dick. You know what I'm saying? And then even from this perspective, when I'm saying cop policing. I mean, yes, that too, but also specifically with Cam worrying about what Dwight Howard is doing in his bedroom. Like, how do you feel about that?
Well, first
Because to me,
off,
that's cop policing.
with you worrying about what an like he said in the interview, we all have heard the rumors. Okay, so why do you want to know what this grown ass man is doing with another man and or woman? What does that do for you? Are you going like this is 2025? Are you going to stop, fucking with him? You're not going to watch him no more because what he does in the bed with someone else? I mean, I just think it's weird. If you want to know for the sake of knowing, which again, then don't have an interview to the whole damn world because that's weird. I also think it's weird for her
Hmm.
to go out and put his business out like that because I'm pretty sure he wouldn't want nobody to know. He would have cleared up all the rumors and everything else himself if that was the case. So that's being messy and weird.
Well, I'm gonna tag you in real quick, Ty.
Okay.
That man threw her across the room. Royce Reed is
He what?
like 4'10", maybe. He threw her.
In a sexual way or?
No, 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 no. He abused the
Oh,
shit out of her. He's
I'm
had her
sorry,
held up.
baby.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's
Tell
allegedly.
everything. Tell it all. Make up a lie of
So
six if you need to.
I'm screaming. He's allegedly had her held up in court. Um, she can't like all her money. A lot of her money goes to the courts. He does not help out with their child. I cursed Royce Reed's father for this because he took that evangelical Christian bullshit route. And I don't care who, I used to be Christian. I don't care who feels in heaven. I don't give a fuck. Like, real talk, we need to have conversations about the harm that religion has done to us as a society. Yes, it's helped, but it's also instilled harmful, excuse me, harmful, rhetoric as well. And the fact that her father, if I'm not mistaken, that's his standpoint was the religious thing. But basically he was like, you laid down, so now you have to bear with the punishment or deal with the punishment. Mind you, this was back when Roe v. Wade was still a thing, or not was not a thing, or was still, yeah, yeah, was still a thing. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So, and that decision that he made or impressed upon her, because I mean, she's a grown ass woman, she chose her, she made a bet, she made it. But that decision that he impressed upon her has caused her so much strife and stress. Like, oh my God, seeing Royce like going off on these different lives versus seeing her on Basketball Wives, her first season, just full of energy and so it's two different Royce's. She's still herself, don't get me wrong. And she's still like, I'm Team Royce in this. Like, air his ass out. I don't care. Once you are known to be a groomer, an abuser, whether it's domestic or sexual, I don't care. Once you have something that heavy of a stain on you and it looks like more than likely you probably did it, I don't have no type of holdback or nothing for you. Like, hey, she can tell us your social security number tomorrow and I would act like she never did it. I just don't care. Um, and then he already has cases for similar types of stuff. So, like, it's like where there's smoke, there's fire. Royce is not just a bitter baby mama. And when we say stuff like that, why are they bitter? Let's ask this question. Stop trying to put harmful stuff on people without getting to the root of it. If you want to label somebody, okay, well, I ask you, why is she a bitter baby mama? And if you can't answer me the information I just told you, then you might need to not have such a strong opinion when stuff like this happens because you're speaking on stuff you don't know. I'm not saying that towards you. I'm just saying the people who are like, so adamant against Royce not speaking out. That man put his hands on her. Mind you, he is probably 2 times as tall as Royce. She's short as fuck. That's scary as fuck. You're dealing with a man who has money and power, and for people to say why you just can't leave, bitch, the same reason people didn't leave Diddy, bitch. Like I'm so sick of people with these simplistic comebacks, just wanting to go against the grain instead of have a deep logical assessment of the situation. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Maybe people just stupid. Maybe I need to let them be dumb. I don't know. But I love that she did clarify that the kids were done for the night. Like she was messy enough for me, given the context that I know. Um, she said it happened. The kids were asleep. I like that she clarified that at least. Because at first I was like, Royce, it is kind of sounding like you saying he was doing this while the kids was around. She was like, they were asleep. They were put away by the time all this was happening. I was like, okay, that's good, Royce. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm seeing Royce on that. Like, these niggas will dog walk you. They will dog walk you. They will dog you. And then, yes, to the public, it looks like Dwight Howard is not doing anything because he's not publicly saying anything. Most people do their dirt in private. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. People just, sometimes their thought process with these topics are a little interesting. Everybody's so creative. Um, do we have anything else to add there?
um, yeah, I think that was about it. I changed my viewpoint on that. Never mind, sis. Air it all out. And yeah, why are we worried about if this man is gay or straight again? Or do you want
That
to
is
sleep with him?
so, that is so annoying to me. And let me say this. Just to be genuinely curious, I could understand that, but it's always like when people ask people that, especially in crowds of people, what is your objective here? What are you trying to get accomplished? Because it seems like you're trying to get knocked the fuck out. Because to be clear, there's nothing wrong with somebody being anything outside of straight, but when you ask them in front of people, it seems like you're asking somebody to tell them how to treat you or tell you how to treat them. And then also, why are you asking this in a group of people? You know what I'm saying? Or in a public platform. Like hell, to me, what he did was way more messy than what she did. He ain't had no reason to do that. Dwight flung her ass, allegedly, across the goddamn room onto the floor. So she can say whatever she wanted about that man. I don't give a fuck. But I don't know. Men are weird. Next, speaking of weird people, Trump versus LA. My
Oh,
bulletin point says people voted for this. The ignorance, the preferential bias towards the rich, the disdain towards anyone who is not a rich white straight man. A man who could take his personal feelings of a Mayor Gavin, out on the citizens. A man who would facetiously analogize, I think that's a word. I'm trying to say compare, human life to a damn fish, while people who also coincidentally majority voted against his narcissistic ass are burning in flames. And if they're not burning, their houses are. So do you have any thoughts on that?
um,
Are we surprised?
yeah. We're not surprised, but where's the heart, the compassion? Like, where is it? Because what is that for you to say? I mean, granted, B might be frustrating. They may or may not have gotten their shit together by now. I don't really know that situation, but just the comment in itself, where's the love in that? Yeah, I that's just crazy.
It aligns with Trump. That's all I'm saying. Um, well, that's pretty much all I got to say on that. Moving forward, let's move on to Wags. So Wags is a new reality television show. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's on Netflix. Um, so I want to
Hmm.
talk about the specific situation with this woman and oh my god, I cannot remember the lady's name. I should have wrote it down. Did I write it down? Damn, I can't remember her name. Oh my god. Okay, well there was this black woman and these black people at a table. Yes, Jules, who is a white influencer, a couple of years back, she posted this tweet that said, "Hey, can I wear this or should I get this?" And it said, "Niggas be lying" or something like that. I think she's also said the N word before in the past. She's one of those cultural vulture, woe Vicky types, bad baby, that whole type of one too. But she never quite got to their levels of success per se. I'm surprised she's on the show. I mean, she's also not on my radar, so I've realized just because I don't tune into people, that doesn't mean they're not known elsewhere. But so she's on the show, and the black lady, of course, a black man said that Jules loves me and I'm a black man, so he, proceeds to start the conversation off, get shit popping, and he says that you were called racist. And she said that I call her racist, and basically, they said you call her a culture vulture, and she said, yeah, I call her a culture vulture. So she corrected them on that. Um, Now, they're pretty much neither one is something a white person wants to be called per se, but pretty much same realm. But, saying racist, I felt like amped that shit up to be more than what it was. And then with Yes Jules trying to cosplay well, she seems to be white right now, but I don't know. It's something about somebody that jumps in and out of the blacklist like that. I feel like, especially when you're around around black people, like you still kind of revert back a little bit. Cause she got way more crunk than what it needed to be. And I know she don't be talking like that at the Thanksgiving dinner table with all her white family members. I know she don't. Um, but at any rate, of course, with him saying you called her a racist, it amplified it up, way more than it needed to be. So from there, they started on like a nice little six. So my first bulletin point was escalation 101. This is just for me watching the clip. Right off the bat, Jules, don't put your hands on me. If somebody doesn't greet you back, you just charge her to the game and move accordingly. Because when she first came over to the table, she spoke to everyone. They all said hi. Now again, I can understand how if you greet somebody and they don't greet you back, you feel some type of way. But don't put your motherfucking hands on my shoulder and try to don't do that. So she did that. That was one step. I don't like that. I would also not follow that up with, I'm good, you look confused, you good? Bitch, who the fuck are you talking to? I, again, I don't know you. Because I'm assuming this is the first time these people have met. Um, and then also, you called the lady a bitch. You told her to lower her motherfucking tone. That coming from a white person to a black person, any type of lower your tone, you're loud, you're this, I'm gonna let you know now, white listeners, the few that we may have. Um, that's not good. Don't do that. You might walk away black. It's gonna be your eyes, not your skin, but you might walk away black too. So you might not want to do. I'm just saying. We a little sensitive to certain stuff from y'all. That's one of them. Yeah. And then the slapping her hand multiple times. From there, that's when it was a fight. There was no going back from that. You slapped her hand twice. So now she's about to mollywop you in your shit. So that's how I saw the fight happen. Um, For me, I would say a white person that claims to be an ally slash love black women would never question what an actual black woman is doing for her community. I thought that was blasphemous. Um, what do you think, Ty? Do you have any thoughts thus far?
Um, you pretty much summed up everything. But I just want to get into. Did you hear the comment she made towards the end talking about my hair is real?
Yep, that was my next bulletin point. An ally also wouldn't say my hair real.
Like
So
the
it's very
fuck?
clear that yes, Jules is the same white trash that she always has been. Nothing has changed with her. She's not evolved at all. Um, for me, gaslighting and deflecting when you know you're caught up is so aggravating to me. And the fact that she sat there and acted like, well, no, you're taking my tweet out of context. No, girl, you said what the fuck you said. And I love how the black girl said, oh, that black girl, she ate that up. When she said, no, I want you to say it. Go ahead and say it for me. Say it. I love that shit. Put somebody in their place. It was giving me, season Potomac reunion when Wendy said, well, since Ashley knows what Osu is, let her go ahead and explain it. And then the Nigerian girl, it's a Nigerian like taboo topic. They don't talk about it. But the Nigerian girl tried to chime up and she said, let Ashley explain it. I said, yes, I love the teacher student moment. Let a nigga know. Love it. Um, but yeah, she ate that one up. Um, I wanted to highlight my next bullet point, like navigating racial topics within the workplace and why I think black women should kind of refrain from doing so. Um, no one had her back. And of course, like as I pointed out earlier, the black man had to kick it off. Talking about some Jules loves me and I'm a black man. It's just certain things that you do. And then like black men especially, they have this aggravation with people critiquing them. But like then you do things like that. Like And you could turn on many of these, probably a couple of these reality shows where the black man is just not a good optic the way that you're going up for this non-black woman against another black woman. I see this in TV, I see it in reality TV, I see it in real life. Um, this is one of the reasons why although I do not like non-black people using the N-word around me, I do not make a fuss about it at work because I know there's going to be five niggas in the background that's ready to tell me how they have a pass to the cookout. As if that has anything to do with the fact that your brethren, am not comfortable with this word being used by a non-black person. So y'all should just vote respect me and not use that shit around me. Now you do what you want, speak however you want, when you're not in my presence. But I don't want that shit around me. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But in the same way, I realize, like, that's just not something black men care about, so I don't say anything. So that's why I said I do think black women should kind of refrain from the racial topics. It's too heavy, it's too convoluted, and you're gonna be standing there by yourself. Like they let that black lady struggle by herself. Nobody had her side in that, as far as I'm concerned, from how I saw it in my vantage point. Um, did you have anything to say or expound upon with that?
Nah, very setup-ish.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so it was just like I did not like to see that. And also, why is Jess Jules even on this shit? Like when I see an all black cast, I'm thinking, okay, this about to be a little piece of black excellence, a piece of mess. Reality TV, you gotta have mess and shade and drama in there. It is what it is. We can act like we don't like it, but we like it. But why is she even here? Like when I saw the thing, I might give the show a watch, but I might just wait till the reunion. I don't know, but. I'll probably watch my content creators' reviews and then see if I want to watch it from there. But why is she even here? Like, it's just very unnecessary. Ugh. At any rate, maybe it'll click when I watch the series if I decide to. From there, I do want to segue into the Louisiana high school basketball fight. So if we're talking about racial topics. So apparently these white boys are called this black boy a nigger, and he knocked their asses out on the
That's right,
basketball.
baby. Knock their wisdom teeth on the
He
floor.
He did. That first one caught a little easy. That second one ran right into the fist. He passed on. I said, oh, okay. So I want him and Washington Commander on my side in the bar fight. Yep, I do. But no, on a serious note, what are your thoughts on this? Because I know that people have
Um,
this violence is never the answer approach bullshit, but I feel like take out the black and the white and make this a white person and a Chinese person. How would they feel? What would be the thing then? Especially after we just had all that stuff, Asian hate stuff happen a couple years ago, the laws and stuff. What would the reaction be then if they were called, the Asian slur? And he did the same, the Asian boy had did the same thing.
I'm not
Because,
the
and I
best.
think I'm saying that to challenge the non-black audience or people responding, because black people are usually going to be on the side of, you said nigger, this is what comes with it. All of us might not get, that's where I am. All of us might not punch you in your shit, but some of us will. And as far as I'm concerned, where to go fund me at? I got five on it. But, what are your thoughts? Do you think he was right? Um,
I might not be the best person to answer this because my thought let's first start off by saying I don't condone you know fighting if it's not in self defense. Of course, I don't condone it. But with this
hmm
type of topic, and it could be because you know we are black, we go through this shit on the daily, and that those are children, and a black boy, younger black boy, for him to experience
hmm
that, not they fucking teeth in. Again, not saying it's the right thing, but my literal thought process is okay. Everybody is young. Y'all are too young to be calling anybody that, whether it's a joke or it's not. But with that being said, what have you at this age to get mad and call someone that, again, at this age? So since you want to act like you are about this world, being as young as you are, then I feel like someone needs to give you a reason to want to be racist.
I'm gonna say this: every
Your
action
parents
has
might
a
have been
reaction.
teaching you to be racist, but you never actually had a reason to actually do it. Well, now here's your reason.
Oh, I'm
If you're
screaming.
gonna hate me, you might as well hate me for something. Don't hate me for nothing. Hate me for something. So here's a little something for you to actually hate me for. Here's a reason.
I'm
So,
sure he hates them.
give him a reason to be racist.
Well, I'm sure they hate him now. If they did, but I I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. I think this is just kind of one of those areas where it's like certain people don't have certain opinions. You ask a black person, they may think this. You ask a white person, they may think this. I'm sorry, I'm more inclined to care about what the black person say because there was no slur thrown around for a white boy. There is no slur for white people, really. I mean, hell, the worst thing you can call a white person is a racist, really. But
Cracker and
I
the
do
other C
question
word.
for people who are saying violence is never the answer, blah, blah, blah. Well, how would you feel if this was anyone else and their slur being used against them? And the reason why I have to pose that question is because we all know at the end of the day, black lives truly do not matter to the collective of the world. And that just is what it is. It's a hard pill to swallow, but the sooner you realize that, the sooner you're able to navigate and move forward in life as in a smoother fashion, in a more aware way. Um, but yeah, that's my thoughts on that. He fucked around and he found out. They fucked around and they found out, actually. So I wanted to add in before we go real quick. This not a come alone situation. Were you made aware of that? The man who pulled up in the drive-through is this place that's called,
Oh,
I, I can't remember what the place is called, but they wear bikinis as their uniforms. And he pulled up exposed in his underwear, whatever. She called the cops and streamed it, and he ended up killing himself. And he left a note for his family and said that he was going through some things and blah 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 this and the third. Um, and sorry he couldn't stay, and then he took himself out. And then the mom went on a witch hunt for the lady, calling the woman a bitch and saying she did to her son, blah, 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 this and the other. Once again, coddling another black man when he pulled his grown, married ass, mind you, married with two children ass up to a fucking drive-thru in his drawers. He may as well have been one of the men on the video fucking a turkey. What the fuck? So before I start rambling, what are your thoughts on this? Because I
um,
see people saying all types of stuff. Oh, well, what do you expect? You work here. My nigga, if you go to the strip club and your boxers, they gonna beat your ass. And they actually get naked there. There's a
I
time
think
and a
it's a
place for
really
everything. And your draws in any fucking drive-thru is not acceptable. I just had to get that out. That shit is pissing me off. I hate when people want to play devil's advocate and use weak, lame arguments. I don't care what the women, I don't care if it was a nude place. It's nude for the workers to be nude, not you, bitch. All right, let me take a break. What do you think? What are your thoughts? He's
um.
supposed to piss me off.
Well, first off, I think it's a sad situation. For one thing, because he did leave behind, like you said, a wife, and he had a 3-year-old or something.
Yep. I probably had two
Very
children, but I think just
very
one.
young. They probably won't
Oh,
even remember him when they get older. But with that being said, a very sad situation. It's always well, not always, but for the most part, it's sad to see a life go. But
yeah.
especially a black life. But with that being said, yeah, the whole witch hunt the mom was pursuing, ma'am, no. And even though it pains me to say this because again, it's a black life, it's a black male, but your son was being a pervert. It's
I'm
like
so
these.
sorry to say this. I'm not sad, to be honest, because the thing about, like, for instance, let's take DJ Act. Let's take him out of the example because people aren't going to see the perspective because he's dead. So they're going to be too harping on the fact that he's not alive. Let's say DJ Academic, for example. If something like that is not trivialized and eliminated on the spot, it only gets worse with time. I don't think you can unpervert somebody.
Oh,
So
definitely
I,
feel where you coming from with that.
yeah, so I'm sorry. Like
I,
even when
I,
he was, I'm sorry for his children and his wife. But outside of that, I mean, him personally, I didn't. Uh, mental
no,
health matters.
him
Go check up on your people. Like I don't know.
him
And even with the
personally,
mental health stuff,
no.
I hate when people latch onto that. It does seem like he might have had some issues, but issues doesn't equate to I'm gonna pull up to a drive-through with my underwear off. That's just straight up perversion.
For me, it's
You get
more
what I'm
so.
saying?
Damn, the better a better version of you like that's for me. That's the sad part. Like, damn, you really could have been something else or did something else, other than what you've been out here doing, the potential, that's the word. The wasted
Yeah,
potential that, to me, that part is sad, of course, on top of, leaving the family behind and stuff. But the wasted potential to me is sad. But, mourning for this specific person, like you said, with academics, nah. Now, if academics were to pass away or something, or anybody in that type of said situation, like, damn, this is sad because this is a black person that really could have, done great things in life. And, like I said, the potential could have been there for them to have been wonderful. But, you as a person who you left being here and doing the things that you're doing, yeah, nah, yeah, no,
yeah.
personally, no.
I don't. I get what you're saying, and I agree somewhat, but I also feel like we do this a lot with as a community, and I'm just saying blindly we like it's almost a subconscious thing. We'll do this, especially when a black man is dead. We'll always say what he could have been. Like people did that a lot with XX Tentacion, and my thing is, if people want to look at who they were when they were here, they have that right as well. You're not going to be able to convince everybody to say what they should have been, what they could have been. A lot of us are just going to go by what the fuck they were when they were here. And if that was a monster that made great music, then it is what it is. That's just the reality. You know what I'm saying? And people shouldn't be demonized if that's their standpoint on it. But I feel like with these stand wars and cultures and all this male worship, especially with these black men like that just die and y'all want to deify them just because they're dead, it's like nobody can even have area to, you know, if they feel on that side of the fence, they don't even feel comfortable to say it. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Me personally, I just don't. This is because, and this is why I say I don't feel any type of sorry other than for his children or his wife. That's not the first time he did that. I refuse to believe it. There's like a 2% chance in my head that that was his first time doing that. So my thing is, how many other businesses have you been terrorizing in that manner? And then also, like I said, more times than not, when somebody is a perv, you can't unperv somebody. So what if something ended up happening to his child? You know what I'm saying? This is somebody who obviously doesn't have any ramifications because he will do this. He will traumatize someone else's daughter. So how much respect can you have for your own? You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Or women in general. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't know. Um, yeah, there are people that are gone too early, and I'm like, this is sad, but that just wasn't one of them for me. I mean, for his family, I know that's a devastating loss, but next time pull up to Um, there won't be a next Jesus. Moving on. Let's wrap this up with some positivity. That's what we should do. Shout out to Angel Reeves. She retired her mother. And I just want to give her her tens. Like Angel Reeves is another one I mentioned underdogs earlier. Angel Reeves to me is like one of the biggest underdogs. Like to see her come out swinging, see her on the court in action. I don't even really watch basketball like that, but the few clips of her I do catch to see her energy, to see her prowess, to see the way she's sporty, but at the same time she's so feminine and cute and put together. And as a tall black woman, to see that on her, like to see her, features untouched, I never see her and I'm like, oh my gosh, she chopped off her nose or nothing like that. Like she's just a beautiful black, tall stallion. You know what I'm saying? To see her doing her thing, to see these endorsements she's getting, to see these deals. I just, we love to see it. We love to see it. She's been killing it in sports. There was this black man that I saw the other day. He had just got a couple endorsements. I cannot remember his name. He was Nigerian, I think, or something like that. But shout and Coco Golf is somebody else I want to congratulate too. She's been doing like breaking a lot of milestones and accomplishing a lot of things in the sports world. But yeah, between sports and rap, it seems like the women is doing shit. They really is. So I did want to congratulate her on that. How do you feel about her retiring her mom? I think
I
that's such
think
an
that is so beautiful. Me personally, because I can't speak for everyone, but me personally, I would love nothing more than to retire my mom. Love my dad. But yeah, my mom
I would
first.
just I would
But
just
yeah,
I think that is so like I just think when you really sit there and think how disadvantaged we are as a race, as black people, and like to me that's up there with like building generational wealth. Like that's some black excellence type shit right there. You know what I'm saying? Like I really, not say that, necessarily. I mean, I do hope that Angel, I don't know too much of her philanthropy work and stuff like that. But I imagine she seems kind enough. She probably does give back to her community in ways. But just to see a person in sports with their head on straight, she's, sticking to the game, getting these sponsorships, these endorsements. I don't know if she's dating, but hopefully she's, keeping herself protected if she is, and just setting herself up to where them children, should she decide to have any, don't have to work, if they don't want to, you know. And she's already started with her mother, and I think that's just such a beautiful thing to see that we don't get to see that often from black people. So shout out to Angel. You doing a
yes,
damn thing,
Angel,
girl. Keep doing
yeah.
your shit. I think that wraps up today's episode though. You have any final thoughts, Ty?
Maury's final thoughts. Um, Stay safe out there. Be blessed. It's
All
the
right,
Trump
there we
world.
go. Oh, Jesus. On that note, y'all have y'all a wonderful day slash evening, and we will catch y'all on episode 4. Peace.
See ya.